Well, there were certainly some great games this weekend. NC State taking out number one seed Villanova, Utah eliminating the pretender joke that was Georgetown. Notre Dame over Butler in overtime was a classic game for sure. And man, today was awesome. We started off with Michigan State and Virginia in an epic battle. That was a great game. Congratulations to Michigan State. In fact, I've been saving this Virginia hat to be able to wear throughout the rest of the tournament as they advance far. But sadly, they're out. Gonna have to go with a winning hat for the rest of this video. Yes. Wichita State ousting Kansas. That was huge. What a victory for the Shockers. Awesome. Oklahoma State surviving Dayton this evening. And of course, Gonzaga looked awesome in just dismantling Iowa. Strong victory for the Zags. Congratulations are in order to Tom Skawski, who wins $240 as our first weekend leader. Yes, Tom was one of 3 people who correctly picked 12 of the Sweet 16, and he currently has 50 points and is in first place. Jake Meiser also got 12 of the Sweet 16, and with 49 points, Jake is tied with John Rulin, who would have won right now the $240 had he not gone homer and picked Dayton to beat Oklahoma. Gotta love those homer picks that seem to doom people every year. Yes. Jennifer Donald also got 12 out of the Sweet 16. And she's tied in 4th place with Tyler Park, Adrian Ramirez, and Robert Katayama, all who have 48 points. By the way, Adrian and Robert, pay for your pool, you jackasses. Rounding out the Elite 8 right now in a 4-way tie with 47 points are such luminaries as Al DiLeonardo, Chris Cooper, Chris Oakes, and Andrew Van Wy. Congratulations to you guys. In the bottom 10 with 37 points, Joe Waltz and Josh Taylor. Josh still smarting over SMU's crushing defeat at the hands of the UCLA Bruins. With 36 points, Robert Jacoby and Rebecca Flowers. With 35 points, Nick Buckaloo, Avery Estrada, and PJ Potter, resuming his usual place in the nether reaches of the pool standings. With 34 points, we have Nick Leindecker and Jeff Nixon. 33 points, Sam Olaf, and in a tie for last place with only 32 points, we have remaining as the caboose Paulette Britton, but now she is tied with Anthony Garcia. Yes, thank you, Anthony, for your donation. Several people lost their champion here over this weekend. 5 people had picked Villanova: John Rulin, Tyler Park, Andrew Van Wy, Katie Haney, and Joe Shoup also picked Villanova. You guys are out. 3 people picked Virginia to win it all, which I thought was a great strategic pick at the beginning of the pool. Earl Kelly, Al DiLeonardo, and Robert Katayama. You guys are also out, as the Cavaliers have been ousted. 21 people have lost 2 of their final 4. Yes, 21 people in our pool have lost 2 of their final 4. One of our leaders, Jake Meiser, had Villanova and Iowa State. Same thing for Jake Doherty, Buddy Boyd, Peter Schneider, Rafael Rudzinski, Chris Valentino, Brian Winans, Victor Paredes, and the self-named sports genius Kevin Donahue, whose name, by the way, is about as accurate as those of Jeff Nostradamus Nixon, not Stradamus, and Defend the Title, Jacob Kinnamore, who will be defending nothing as his picks suck this year. Vance Pilkington, also a former champion, has lost 2 of his final 4. He had Virginia and Iowa State. Same thing for Parker Grieve, Celestino Rosa, Chase Findell, Connor Morita, Brian Mormon, Chad Vordenberg, and Dave Powders. We also had J. Brad Britton and Kyle Steinfeld, who had Iowa State and Northern Iowa. Kyle may be from Iowa as far as I know. What's your excuse, Brad? Chris Cooper had Virginia and Kansas, and Joe Waltz had Virginia and joke of a Final Four pick, Georgetown. Remarkably, only 5 of our top 15 leaders have Kentucky to win it all. And so I've looked to see who's in position to win if certain things happen without trying to calculate all the possibilities, which is really hard at this point. Tom Skawski, currently leading, has Kentucky over Gonzaga in the final game, with Oklahoma and North Carolina in the Final Four. Justin Ipp also has Kentucky over Gonzaga, but with Wisconsin and Villanova in the Final Four. So Jip is going to lose out on points if Oklahoma gets there, but could gain back with Wisconsin. Really, Justin needs Wisconsin and someone other than Oklahoma in order to surpass Tom Skawski. Adrian Ramirez has Kentucky over Duke with Arizona and Villanova. He seems like he's in position to win if it's Kentucky over Duke in the championship game. Those are the leaders with Kentucky. Jennifer Donald is the highest rated player with Arizona to win it all, but she has Arizona over Villanova. Kevin Orton has Arizona over Gonzaga, with Kentucky and Michigan State in the Final Four. Scary Final Four picks right there. Celia Ane also has Arizona, but could potentially pass Kevin and Jennifer with an Oklahoma victory over Michigan State. So that's a key game for those of you that have Arizona, especially Celia and Kevin. That Oklahoma over Michigan or Oklahoma-Michigan State game is going to be a key indicator of who will be in position to win if Arizona should advance. Chris Cooper is the highest rated player with Wisconsin to win it all, but he has Kansas and Virginia in the Final Four. Dave Powders also has Wisconsin to win it all, but the entire right side of his bracket is completely decimated, and the same is true for J. Brad Britton. Kyle Lopes has Wisconsin to win it all over Villanova and has UCLA in the Final Four. Crazy. The best looking bracket with Wisconsin to win it all actually belongs to Chris Niku, who has Wisconsin over Duke, but with Kentucky and Michigan State also making the Final Four. As far as those people who picked Duke to win it all, Mike Dowd has Duke over Kentucky with Oklahoma and Arizona in the Final Four, while Miguel Lopez has Duke over Kentucky with Michigan State and Wisconsin in the Final Four. John Israel is the highest rated player with Gonzaga to win it all. And Jason Flynn has only 12 players beat in the entire pool, but he has Michigan State over Wisconsin in the championship with Notre Dame and Gonzaga also in the Final Four. Jeff Bry also has Michigan State over Wisconsin, but he has that with Kentucky and Duke. So Bry is looking really good if Michigan State should advance all the way, while Jason could go from 0 to hero if Michigan State wins and Notre Dame takes out Kentucky as well. Oaks has North Carolina over Duke in the championship game. That's his only chance. He's riding the Tar Heels all the way, sink or swim. Please pay, by the way, if you haven't already done so. I'm talking about people like Clint Buckaloo and Nick and your friend Rick, Dave Bush, Scott Dennis, Chris Heigl, Justin Donald, entries number 1, 2, and 3, Adam Lewandowski, Travis Lewis, Larry Manley, Jim McGowan, Jeff Nixon, who usually sends his $40 payment in a $20 FedEx envelope shipment, and Ty Wilda. You guys need to pay. There might be a few others too. Jason Flynn, by the way, paid $50 instead of $40. Thank you, Jason. And titled his Venmo payment for another sink or swim voyage on SS Izzo. Yes, indeed. So far, you guys are swimming. We'll see what happens soon, though. Looking forward to the Sweet 16 on Thursday. We got Kentucky to face their first real test against West Virginia. We got Wichita State versus Notre Dame. Man, I would love to see Wichita State get a shot at Kentucky. That'd be poetic justice after what happened last year. Wisconsin is playing UNC, and Arizona is playing Xavier. Really can't wait to see the Wisconsin-Arizona rematch of last year's regional final. That was an awesome matchup, and look forward to seeing that once again. On Friday, In the East bracket, we have North Carolina State versus Louisville, and we have Oklahoma versus Michigan State. And then we also have Gonzaga against UCLA. The Zags won by 13 at UCLA earlier this year. Duke should probably handle Utah. Really looking forward to the epic Gonzaga versus Duke game that is looming. That should be awesome. Can't wait to see that. There's certainly been a lot of surprises, but there's a pretty good Sweet 16 right now, and a really good Elite 8 and amazing Final Four is brewing. It should be really exciting. I'll be back at all you guys next Friday.